Fantastic Tutor, and in today's tutorial, it's going to be the continuation and hopefully the last class on the course Edu, Edu 112, and I believe we will be to get a thing or two in tonight's class. Right. So with this being said, let's hop straight into it. Okay. All right. So we are going to be taking off from invoice. As Edu 112 as a bed. I beg your pardon. Bed 112. All right. Now, maybe I should just quickly remind us that this course basically is all about, how it's all about documentation, okay? Using the computer in doing official things like writing letters, you know, how to format your letter, how to take advantage of the computer, use the features, the features the computer has to offer officially, all right? How to format your document, some certain things. It's just like an extension of CIT 104. Some features your computer can offer, your computer has, and how you can take advantage of them. All right. So basically, that's what this course is all about. So we're going to be looking at invoice now, using your computer to create an invoice. All right. So what is an invoice? Invoice is a can be used. The other word that can be used for invoice is called receipt, a proof of ownership. All right, a document given to any purchaser as a proof of ownership. All right, that is what invoice is. So if you are to create an invoice, using your computer, basically, I think by the time we are doing our revision, we'll have to hop on the Telegram class. When we hop on the Telegram class, then we will use or practicalize with my system. On Telegram class, I get to share my screen, and you can see everything I'm doing on my system. So with that will really go a long way in assisting each and every one of us to know what these things are. It's not just that we are just explaining them theoretically. So we have that is that. Now with this being said, let's just go straight into it. All right. Okay, just a moment. Let's hop straight into it. Okay. Just a minute. Trying to sort out my material here. Right. Awesome. Okay, now so if we are to create an invoice with our computer, how do we do that? Now here we use the single line spacing, just like how we discussed in our last class. Single line spacing, do single line spacing, and here colons and rows, okay, and cells. Let's not forget, we said where colon and row join together is what we refer to as cells, right? Let's not forget that. Colons, rows, and cells. And we can use a single line spacing. It's basically has to do with tabulation. Definitely columns and rows with cells has to do with a table. Definitely. Right? And we all know how these things look like, for a we all know how it looks like for an invoice. You should be looking at something like this. Okay, whereby we'll have something like this. We'll have to go to sign here. I have the name of maybe top tutors. Alright, that will be the name, that will be the heading. Alright, and you can have something like this here. Name customer, and you have maybe you have something else like this, maybe the address and the date. Okay, and here can be the description of the product and the amount of money paid, and here we have the signature of the customer and the signature or whatever. So it's basically more of a tabular setting, design of invoice. As you can see here, we have columns, we have rows, and we have cells. All right, that's invoice. We're doing invoice. That's that for invoice. All right. So now let's proceed. Now we have special characters. Special characters. Okay, when we talk about special characters, definitely if we are writing, we'll come across some certain things that we need, to apply special characters, and those special characters basically not they're not something that you can just see on the superficial level. You have to go for them, you have to go search for them in the computer. Unfortunately these days, fortunately the kind of operating system we have now, and one I'm using is Windows 11. The operating systems now are very effective, and your kind of operating system determines the kind of access you have on the features your WordPress, your Microsoft has. On the Microsoft Word now, one that I'm using on my Windows, anything you need, just go ahead. There's a search bar where you can just go there and to bring it all out. So all the things I'll show us in our Telegram class. Now, for the special characters, it's just for you to go there. Symbols comes out. Special characters they are not. Now let's even talk about what they are actually. They are characters that are not an alphabet or numeric. Characters that are not alphabet or numeric. They're not alphabetic or numeric characters. Okay, special characters. They are neither alphabetic nor numeric. Okay, those are special characters. Now we're going to look at some examples of special characters together. Okay, we're going to look at examples of special characters together. They are also referred to as symbols. Okay, they also refer to as symbols. The way you see things like that, you see things like just like, okay, all these things are special characters. You see things like TM, right? Yes, sometimes refers to as symbols. Now they are neither numerics or alphabet. All right. Okay, we have things like, let's even say things like this. Okay, this is actually okay. No, let's erase this. Let's go for something else. Okay, we have this and we have that. All these are examples of what we're talking about. Now, punctuation. Okay, so we have that is that. So we can say punctuations, marks, and other symbols are examples. Punctuation, marks, and other symbols are examples. They are all examples of what we call special characters. Punctuations, mark, and other symbols. There's no need to panic though. In our Telegram class, I will walk us through all these things. I will show us what they look like, using my system. I'll share the screen and we all can see everything. All right, so we have that as that. Okay, now, and believe me, some of all these characters, majorly or most of all these characters, are not found on the keyboard. So you have to go look for them. Just like what I said, they are not regular keys you see on the keyboard. So most of them you have to go and search for them using your computer. All right. Now let's proceed. Okay. So we have that as that. Now for you to get through characters that are not on your keyboard, just like as I said earlier on, you have to use the symbol. Click on insert. On your WPS, while on your Microsoft app, there's this option called the option for insert. So you have to go through that option for insert. When you go through those, although usually it's better off you use the search option. When you use the search option, you go straight directly to it. When you just put symbols or special characters, symbols actually not special characters, it takes you directly to it and you can search for the one you want. Okay, now if you go on insert, there's a menu bar at the top down menu. Then you click on symbols and you see a box of symbols and you click on your desired one. Menu, then box, then desired one. All right, so that's that for special characters. And even still, if the symbol you intend to use is not on that menu, it's not on that list, there's a way you can still click on find more or view more, and it drops down a whole lot of symbols that are not on the menu. Okay, so we have that as that. Now let's proceed. Okay, now we have talked about now curriculum vitae, how you can write using your computer, how you can format. Basically, this course is more of like formatting to me, how you format your documents, how you spaces, the line, the indent, the margins, everything. What kind of format, the fonts, and everything you use in. Now we have talking about this CV now. Okay, now mixed display is allowed in typing curriculum vitae. Mixed display, all right, is allowed in what typing curriculum vitae. Now you may use both indented, all right, indented and blocked style. Indented and block style. All right, now once you say, and let me give an example. Indented, we have blocked style. Let me give us an example of both. Just a moment. Just a moment. Now, the indented, all right, the indented style. Now, let's start from the indent. For example, let's say I'm about to do the introduction of who I am. Now, Now that's for the indented. Now let's look at for the block style. Now for the block style, the same thing I wrote there is what I will repeat here. Okay. Now let's now identify the difference. Let's identify the difference. As you can see here, we have space, but here no space, no space. All right, that's how we differentiate between the indented and the block style. All right, that's how we differentiate between. As you can see, the indented has space. Each paragraph has some space. This is the space between, but the block style, it's full. Although this is more of I think this is more of justified. On my computer, there are way we have centralized, we have left, we have right, and this is more of justified, whereby everything is just spaced, is full. And I think this style is usually good for research work. This is what my research work. This is the style I'm using for my research work. All right, so we can use either of these two to write our CV, curriculum vitae, which is the indented and the block style. Either of these style can work. All right, so we have that as that for the indented and the block style. Now let's proceed. Okay, now we have shoulder or side heading can be used. All right, we have shoulder or side heading. For the heading now, we have shoulder or side heading. All right, we have shoulder or side heading. Now, when we say shoulder heading, what are we talking about? Shoulder heading is a special type of heading that is used at the left hand. Now, let me erase this so we can talk about the shoulder heading and the side heading. The shoulder heading and the side heading is what I want to talk about. Shoulder or side heading. All right, shoulder or side heading. Now, this is a typical example of shoulder or side heading. So I'm going to sketch that out for us so we can see what it looks like. All right, now let's proceed. the shoulder or the side heading is said to be a kind of heading that we have from a special type of heading that is used at the what? The left hand end. Now let's assume it's a big A4 paper. Let's assume this is a big A4 paper. This is our A4 paper. A4 paper. Alright. So now if you're writing your CV and you want to use the shoulder or the side heading, you are expected to have your heading at where this is the left, this is my right, and this is my left. Alright? You are expected to have your heading at the left hand end of the first line of the paragraph. Now, my address is Dutse Alhaji. Alright? Zone 4, Abuja, no, Amak, Abuja. Now, this is a typical example of shoulder or side heading. It's a special type of heading that is used at the left hand side. As against what we usually do, most time, this is a A4 paper. Most time, our address usually here. Alright, but it doesn't mean that if you put it here, it's also bad. It's just the type of heading you used. And the one we are talking about now is the shoulder or side heading, or the side heading, one that we are talking about now. So we have that. Now, and also you need to know that now it is also better, when you are doing CV, like the word curriculum vitae, it is also good, according to what we have in the material, it is better to use word art. And word art is just one feature you have in your Microsoft Word. This is one feature that you can go there and you can change what your heading looks like. It's just art with words, definitely not pictures. You make a word, any word you want to transform into some other graphics, you make them look nice, you make them look different. It's just basically words. So we have that as that. Now let's proceed. Now let's erase this and let's talk about cases where you want to use some fractions, where you want to construct some fractions on your paper, or you want to construct some fractions. How do you go about that? So we have fractions, how to use fractions on your document. Now, using fractions on your document, we have it in two types. Alright, we have the sloping, and we have the vulgar. Basically, I think we'll get to understand this class better if we're having our Telegram class, because all these will be not just for the book alone. We also need to learn how these things are being done. In case you come across things like this in your office and you are requested, to do things like this. Then you have to at least have an idea. It's all about fraction. Now, this type of fraction, if you want to create it on your A4, or you want to create it on your computer, then now you need to understand that you might not, like for sloppy. Now you can find sloppy. This is the type of fraction whereby you have 6 divided by, you have this, you have 3, you have 9. Okay, we can, let's say 12. All right, these are the ones that you can easily see, and then you can see this option. If I'm not mistaken, yes, on my system here, just directly after the question mark. But these ones you can see them. You might see them on some computers. On some, if you can't see them, then you might have to do some drawings yourself. I'll show us all that when we're having a Telegram class on this course. You might have to do some drawings, or you might need to go select an object, then switch it to this. That is if you can't find it. But there's this particular one you definitely cannot find. And when we have things like 7 plus 2 over 3 plus 1, then we now have plus 6 over 3, and we have, it might be very difficult for you to find things like this, so you might need to sometimes draw, or you have to construct them. That are the vulgar kind of fractions, and all these things basically you might have to. This is definitely you might have to go through the drawing process, whereby you have to type your numbers, then you have to draw lines, you have to enlarge this particular one, then try to draw this, then bring 6, then add the bar and the 3. It's all these things. There are processes to it. All right, so we have that as that. Now we have enumerators, which are Arabic and Roman. Now we also have the fact that alignment is automatic. Please note that on the system, alignment is automatic. All right, when we say alignment is automatic, that is why sometimes if you are typing maybe the very first alphabet of the word on a paragraph, it automatically changes to a capital letter. That is a normal thing, and you align that when you are typing. It doesn't, unless you choose the kind of structure you want, whether it's justified, left, centered, or anyhow. Everything is just on a straight line. Everything you are typing is like this. So typing like it just aligns. It's automatic. All right. When your work comes out straight, the alignment is automatic on the system. So we have that as that. Also, we have what we call charts. Chart this flow. Now we have charts. Charts differ from organization to organization. Now, which way it goes, the same tool are required. All right. Charts now. When you are doing charts, charts in the sense like maybe something like this, or maybe something like this, or something like this, or something like this. All these things, it requires drawing. It requires tools. You have to. All these things you can actually find them on the insert option on your system. And when you do the on for example, if this is your interface on your system, your WordPress. Why do I keep saying WordPress? Your Microsoft. So this is where you type. There you go. You're typing, and you have options here. You have options here. Different options here. You have the menu, file, where you save, where you insert, where you add pictures, word art. Just on the top here, whereby you can find a menu, and the menu could be insert. And when you go there, you'll find you'll find things whereby you can do the drawing. You can do the insert of symbols, insert of charts. All these things are already on the computer. Just like as I said earlier on, if you are using an advanced Microsoft Word, you can even just go to the option of search. That one is always separate here. Use the search button, you just put charts. When you type search, it will bring out the option for you. Then you can click and you can begin to do your stuff with the charts. All right. This is where when we talk about chart now, you use text box, you use different shapes, just like you have seen here. When you use different shapes, you use different shapes, text box, oval, auto shapes, you draw lines. All these things are lined, all these things are shaped, and you can even add shadings to these drawings of yours. Okay, so we have that as that. You can as well use the Microsoft Word to design your balance sheet. And balance sheet is more of the balance sheet. Balance sheet is more of the tabular form. balance sheet is more it's basically tabulated, in rows. It can be tabulated, and it can be in rows and in columns. It can be in rows, can be in columns. All right, all these things you require. So it's just basically, you can use your Excel as well to, if you're on the stream and are here to smash the like button, do well to do that. And you can as well let us know where you're watching from. You can that's how you mark your attendance here. We have that as that. Okay, so we have bibliography and references. How you make use of your computer to in getting your bibliographies and references. Now this, basically, bibliography and reference, they are list of books, journals, magazines, newspaper that include thesis, projects, or report. Now basically, the type reference, all these reference, your typing basically are going to be in alphabetical order, where you have to name the authors. You have to name, let me erase this. Now for reference, all right, for reference, you have to alphabetical order, alphabetical, all right, alphabetical order, alphabetical order. You have to name the list of authors, the year, and publication. Year. Okay, now let's start with authors. Year, and publications. All these things are formatting, and you definitely have to observe them. And basically, you need to know that the commonly used, the most common format for this is what we call the APA style. And this APA style is said to be the American Psychological Association. Psychological Association. So we have that as that. We also have the drawing tools. I've also talked about that when we have use of shapes, different shapes and lines, and we have all that as that. And basically, that's all on the course for tonight. And this brings us to the end of this tutorial for the first stage of our studying. We are going through 3 stages. This is just our familiarization stage. We do more of the other work after the familiarization stage. We have document properties here, information related to a particular document. When we have the general information, we have the summary, we have the statistics, we have the content, we have the customs. And when we say general, we are talking about document file information, including the date and time. When we talk about the summary, we're talking about the track of the title, the author. And when we talk about the statistics, now we're talking about the tracking the documents, numerics. All right, custom, where we keep track of information and content, when we talk about things like the body, header, and the footer. So basically, this is all we have for this course for now. And in our subsequent, the next round we are coming to it now, all these things we have treated is no longer new to us, because we have gone through classes and they're now familiar. So subsequently, we are going to the next course in this department. So let me know which course do you think we should go to next. I will be looking forward to getting your response, and also I'll be looking forward to get your notes. Do well, for as many of us who are on this stream, do well to get your notes together, submit your notes, take a picture of your notes and send to the group that you got the link for to join the class. And thank you very much. This brings us to the end of today's tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you in subsequent tutorials. Bye bye.